Hello, Donna D'Angelo from the Institute of Christ Consciousness. We are now on our 11th installment of the series, The Correcting Time. Last time I discussed the importance of taking full self-responsibility for how you think, how you feel, and how you act. This is important because what this does is begin to open you more to the spiritual process of growing as a human who has a great potential to be the person God created you to be. It's also important to take full responsibility not only for your own welfare, but for the welfare of our world. The collective consciousness that is now growing and becoming awakened to the presence of the role of spirit in our everyday lives. We live on an evolutionary world that participates in the grand design of life, put forth in place by our Creator Source. And that plan is very vast. And it is segmented into different administrative, what you might call structures. And one of the structures is the administration of an evolutionary world such as ours. Many thousands of years ago, our world participated in a plan to take us away from the pattern or template of how a world, an evolutionary world like ours, evolves. We are now just coming out of that sequestering of information that kept us in the dark about the nature of reality and the universe all around us. But this has implications for us as individuals because we are being encouraged to awaken to the spiritual presences within us that are part of our system of consciousness to help us grow in comprehension of who we are and our place in this vast cosmos of life. I'm using the analogy which I've used before. It's like the information that we've been fed by our planetary administrators, heads of state, heads of corporations, where information has been parsed through to the average human so that we follow a prescribed agenda. And so this is like living behind an iron curtain where there is so much information that is being hidden from the general public, and we don't know what we don't know, but now that is opening to give us a wider range of information of how we can create a better planetary structure, one that works for all individuals in all life and not for just a chosen few. So one of the responsibilities that each individual has to the collective is now to awaken and grow on the spiritual path. And there is such a wide variety of help for each individual and for the planet collectively to take more responsibility for what has happened here on the planet, to overcome the culture of self-centeredness, which speaks to a person only being important to oneself. And this creates a lot of conflict and greed and a sense of entitlement. And now we are being called to cast off that mindset and that value system to awaken and participate in the growing oneness and unity of all life in this beautiful fabric that our Creator has designed for the evolution of this world and other worlds to participate in the divine plan. Now, this is a very large undertaking, and sometimes it feels very daunting for us as individuals to think that we can make an impact. But we can make an impact, and we do make an impact when we begin to awaken and participate with our indwelling spirits to grow more beautiful and godly in our thinking, in our feeling, in our interactions with one another. So the more we awaken to this great inner truth, the more we can participate in the change of our value system and the consciousness or the belief systems that have been holding us back from achieving our planetary potential and destiny toward the evolution of a heavenly culture where the values of truth, goodness, love, and compassion are the operative attitudes that humans portray in daily life. We have a long way to go, and this process is not going to happen in simply one generation. But the best way to take full self-responsibility now is to awaken to your inner spirit and take responsibility that you have a spiritual potential, and ask the questions. How can I participate to support the collective to become more filled with love and light, peace, compassion, and truth? One of the biggest ways to do that, in conjunction with your indwelling spirit, is to forgive. To forgive yourself for whatever you may hold against yourself, even for your own humanity. And forgive others who have participated in the great distortion and deception of our planetary culture. Those who have, what you might say, hoarded information or sequestered information to keep it from the general public from thriving. And this is a very large belief system that pervades the planet. And so it is not helpful to single out any one individuals or even a group of individuals, because everyone has been what you might call deceived. Those people who are perpetuating this agenda of self-centeredness and those who have been victimized. So forgiveness is a wonderful, wonderful spiritual quality and attitude to convey and portray in your own inner lives, to help you rise above the distortion and deception that is so rampant throughout many of the belief systems in our social culture and our institutions. And this is one of the ways in which you can take more responsibility for the collective, because we are all part of this planetary fabric of life. Each person has a part to play in the transformation of our planetary life, especially if you are awakening or have awakened and ask what are the next steps. Your spirit will guide you, but please do focus on forgiveness and do your best to forgive those who are still perpetuating this deviant agenda of self-centeredness. These people truly are lost, and you might even say they have lost touch with what is real and true from a divine perspective, and they need help. They need forgiveness, they need redemption, and they need to come to their own spiritual awakening. And when we forgive, we are loosening the tethers of deception and distortion, and we are allowing the truth infusion that is coming from the higher realms to feed us with the correct information we need so that we can heal our hearts, heal the way in which we think and have looked at our material reality, and come into a greater perspective of life that also includes the spiritual perspective wherein all good things, all truth, all goodness and beauty originate. So thank you for allowing me to share these words and ideas with you. And we will continue on this series of the Correcting Time. But please remember your role in this auspicious time on our world, and do more to dedicate yourself to growing in your spiritual potential, because it is vast and you can't even imagine how beautiful you can become during this time. So I'll leave you with those thoughts. God bless you, and may you thrive on your journey to Christ consciousness. And goodbye for now.